Hello everyone, I am Ujjwal Poudel and this is a final assignment for our second semester unit called Server Administration Fundamentals on the date 20th November 2017. As you can see that I have already opened the Moodle account here and already entered my username and password, so it will be quite easier for me to log on. At down here, there is a Server Administration Fundamental which is for semester second. And there is an assignment given where we can choose between the task 1 to task 10. The weight for each task is different. Now I'm going to do the task 8 where we have to disable control panel for a certain group of users. We will be using Server 2012 and Windows Professional as server and client. Now in Oracle, now using a virtual box called Oracle, I have already installed my server 2012, and the client Windows Professional. I have already installed my Active Directory Domain Services DHCP DNS server, which will help during the process. And as you can see that in the server assignment, we will be using a server manager. In a server manager, we will be using basically two tools to disable control panel from the users. Basically, the Active Directory users and computers and group policy management are the two major factors for this task. We'll be creating a new organizational unit and a group policy, and we will be linking that group policy to that organizational unit in which the users will be there. Thus, that user cannot be or will be unable to use control panel. Now as I have already linked my Windows Professional computer to the server 2012 version, and this is the server and this is the client. In the server, I can show you that in using Active Directory users and computers that I have already connected my user to, that is Windows Professional computer, which can be seen in the computers. That means that in a new forest called readvit, which I have created readvit.com as an example to that bit.com.au. I have created readvit.com. The computer user 2 is a Windows Professional, which is serving as a client to server 2012 Windows computer. In the users, you can see that many users are here, but we'll be using that one, the user one to disable computer. I will be creating an organizational unit in which the user one will be there, and it will be unable to use the control panel. Now let's get started. Now you can see that we have opened a group policy management. In here you can see a forest called readbid.com, which is a forest created by me. Down here we can see a group policy object. In which we'll be creating a new policy to disable a control panel. First of all, we have to create a organizational unit in which that group policy will be linked. So we'll be right clicking on our forest, and clicking in our forest and creating a new organizational unit. So we'll be naming it test organizational unit to disable what? Control panel. New organizational unit to disable control panel. Now as we have created a organizational unit, we have created a new organizational unit. Now we'll be creating a policy. In here we'll be creating a new policy which will help to disable control panel. So we'll be naming a test policy to disable control panel. So we'll be editing that policy so that it can be fit to control that organizational unit. So we need to configure that group policy. As you can see that there are many options available, but we'll be going down to the users configuration, to the Windows setting, to the administrative template, to control panel. As you can see that there is an option to prohibit users from accessing control panel and the PC settings. So we'll be clicking on that one. We'll be editing that option. So we will be enabling that option so that the users will not be able to access control panel. So now we'll just apply it and click OK. Now the enabled. So this policy will be enabled. So we have already created a new organizational unit. We have already created a group policy. So we'll be linking these two. So that will be a new organizational unit which helps to block control panel to the users. Helps to block the control panels to the users. So we'll be just right clicking on that. We will be linking our existing group policy, which is test policy to disable control panel. So as you can see that now in that test organizational unit, there is a test policy to disable control panel. So the job of group policy management is done here. Now we'll be using the another factor which affects this process, that is Active Directory users and computers. So as I have already told that we'll be using user 1 as a victim. So now I can show you that the user 1 can now use the control panel here. This is user 1 and it can use the control panel, but we'll be disabling it on a certain time. So now this user 1 will not be able to use control panel after a certain time. So now you can see that there is a test organization unit to disable control panel, but there is no any users assigned to it. So now we will be assigning user 1 to the test organization unit to disable control panel. So right clicking on that option will be moving that user 1 to the test organization unit so that it can't be used to use control panel. Now as you can see that the user 1 is assigned to that organization unit which cannot use control panel. So now we need to restart our client user 1. We need to now as you can see that it can use the control panel, but after rebooting that the new setting will be applied to the user 1, so that user 1 will not be able to use control panel. Now we will just restart our client, Windows Professional client. Now it's getting restarted. So the control panel will not be available in this new user one because we have already created an organizational unit and linked a group policy which disables the control panel and add that user one to that policy. So that policy is assigned to the user one, which is a user from our forest readvit.com. Now as the computer is rebooting, after the computer opens, it won't be there won't be control panel. So now we will be logging into that user one. As you can see, there is a read vit, which is a forest in which there is a user. The user is user one, which we have already disabled. As you can see that the user one, let's click on there. You can see on the profile, on here that the user one, this user login name is user one, which is a user one. So the user one won't be, cannot use control panel. So as we open that user one by tapping the password, so we have already rebooted that user. So the user is now applied new settings. So there won't be any control panel. As you previously have seen that there was a control panel here, but the control panel have been disabled using this organization unit policy. So the new user one, there is no any control panel. So the task 8 was to disable a control panel for a certain group of users. So we have completed that task. In that task, we have created a new organizational unit. We have named that organizational unit called test organizational unit to disable control panel, in which we have created our organizational unit called test our organizational unit to disable control panel, which disabled control panel to the user one. Now our task for here is done.